say I'm lying in a park in Auckland and waiting for my lift up to Kerikeri that I found on Facebook. Still not sure how I then get up to the top from there, but trying to go with the flow. I think that's the attitude I need to adopt for this whole trip. But it's all part of the adventure, and as Esme said, just keep going. Still figuring out how this works. Hello from the future. This is me trying to sort of finish the packing, sort of explode everywhere in a classic Rachel explosion, but this, yeah, it could be worse. I've got the bags ready, resupply, and then just the chaos of trying to like choose what clothes to bring, because I don't want to do the same Camino mistake, which is bring no normal clothes. So I know, and then like big warm layers for the South Island, but then obviously multiple bikinis for the sea. Back to the future. Note number 1. Van life. I know van life is a social construct, but we actually have a van and we have the tent set up. Well, not yet existent. This is the first attempt to put up my ultralight tent. Fred and George, I hope you do. I do you proud. Also, hope you're jealous of the van. So, update after the first night in my ultralight tent. It's kind of a bit wet, and I kind of think I constructed it a bit wrong because the sides are really slopey. Now I need to try and find my way to the top. I've already bitten the bullet. Bought 400 grams of peanut butter, because what is an adventure without a sporkful of peanut butter? Forget about peanut butter stored in here, avocado stored in here. Adventure is not complete without a trip to Bunnings. Mission: get the bike onto the bus. Probably success. Guys, what a day. We arrived at 90 Mile Beach. Feel like I've cycled 100 kilometers and I cycled 20. But it was my first experience of New Zealand drivers. Let's say they leave the room for improvement, is that I just feel like such an incompetent tent putter upper, and I put up a lot of tents in my time, but this one just has me stumped. I don't know if I'm just destined to be in a tent that doesn't really work for the next 3 months, or if I'll slowly get the hang of it. If I could ask your recommendations, I would, but you're watching this 4 months later, so we'll see. Now this is what some might call pure wifey material. Currently sat here on the beach looking at the sunset and finding it quite crazy that I am all the way here 11,000 miles from home and about to embark on a 3,000-kilometre cycle journey across the length of New Zealand. Yeah, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I don't really know what I've got myself into. Tiny little kids causing havoc. Hope I can carry some of the Camino spirit with me and make this into my own kind of Camino, because that would be pretty special. And technically I still am on Camino, because my Camino shell follows me with every step I take. Okay, the saga continues. Can't see much because it's 6 in the morning. I've packed everything up and gonna try cycle along the beach to get to Aotearoa for 7:30 for a lift up to the top. Prime cycling footwear. So we're about halfway down onto my beach. It's not technically 90 miles, it's just called 90 miles because when the first people who went down it came along, my boat was equivalent to what they thought was 30 miles a day. We've got 50k to go. We're getting there everywhere, but it's just endless, monotonous. It's windy, so I'm like aero at all times, and now we're getting wet. Day 1 of cycling complete. My bike is a wreck, needs to be cleaned. I am also a wreck. I've got a cup of tea, a very big cup of tea the size of my head. 100 kilometers done, 1/30th of the way there. Slight delay as 157 cows rush past. Here in Northland is like some kind of tropical paradise. It is so humid. Not much more to say. You know when you like cycle so much that your brain like stops really working? I feel like that's going to be me for the next 2 months. A review of the day. day 2, 1st of February, pinch punch, 1st of the month. It was rough. It was the first 1,300 meters of elevation of the 36,000. I am not used to hills. Hello. And I'm in this tiny town, Aotearoa, 100 kilometers north of Dargaville, 100k to do again tomorrow. And it's kind of fun because why else in the world would I be in this tiny town with one supermarket and one gas station in the north of New Zealand if not to cycle through it? It's kind of like the Camino. Like, why else would you go to Carrion de los Tondes or Terra Dios de los Templarios if you're not walking 900 kilometers across Spain? You really get to see the hidden gems. Day 3 in this lodge. We have our first mechanical issue. 80k to get to a bike shop, but the bike shop closes at 4, so I don't know if I'll get there in time. So this is really not the chill vibe that I was after. This is teaching me that I really should know bikes, especially when embarking on a 3,000 kilometer long bike journey. First climb of 8 to start the day. The Italians coming up behind, very speedy.
I like this one.
Yeah, that was fun. Back disease, I heard.
Love it, you know more than me.
Currently doing an epic descent through a Karri forest. Goes on and on and on, downhill, as you can tell from my glasses. Oh, oh, so many bugs on me. That is grim. Hey, some updates. I went off-road. Don't really know where I am. It's 36k to Garfield. Gears are holding up. Sunburn is sort of under control. 2 climbs. Yeah, faster than the old men up the first climb. Yeah, felt great. The second climb they absolutely smoked me. Reputation as a broken pannier girl precedes me because I met a stranger at the forest and he was like, oh, you're the one with the panniers, and 3 people cycling past have said, so do you think you'll get new panniers along the way? And I was like, no, I'll just carry on with them until they explode. It's just 5 kilometers to go, but genuinely I'm so done. I've reached the point where my entire body is like shivering, but I'm really hot, I'm really sweaty, and I have bitten off far more than I can chew. I'm miserable, man. I'm really miserable. Update, we made it. Kiwi, my trusty friend, pulled through even with a chain that was wrong, has now been fixed. Okay, it was hard. It was really hard. I realised, according to Strava, it was my 3rd biggest climb of my life, after the Alps and Sacalobra, so that's saying something. I was reading some people's blogs about doing this cycle and got kind of emotional that I'm actually doing it and I'm doing what all of these crazy adventurers have done, and that sort of makes me a crazy adventurer, even though I don't really feel like it. Haven't put up my tent because I'm just a bit embarrassed by the size of my tent and its floppiness compared to everyone else's perfect tents, so I normally wait until it's later on in the evening. Now for today. Today the weather's changed and we visited New Zealand's smallest church and we got loads bags. I kind of don't know if I was meant to take them, but I'm going to follow the communal spirit once again that the Lord would want weary travellers to take his bounty from his garden, and I sure do appreciate these, they're so good. My first bit of gravel of the cycle, and kind of my entire life. It's kind of hard. Just small rocks become big skid risk. So, it's been a pretty confusing day so far. I got off the ferry, didn't really want to start cycling. Thought it was like 40k flat into Auckland from one of my maps. Checked the other map, it said 1,700 meters elevation. Then followed my Garmin map, which brought me the wrong way. So then I went back again. Keeps on beeping at me and I don't know what it's trying to tell me because the route isn't downloaded properly. My leg is over there. You can almost touch the Auckland Sky Tower from here, but I'm going up this hill already. I want to be there, to be honest. I'm a bit done and I haven't seen a single other cyclist. Okay, we're getting closer. The end. I've once again reached the end of the day vibe where I need a snack like every 5k or so to keep me going. So we arrived in Auckland, a double room for me and Kiwi on the 19th floor. Apparently it's a Chinese drug trafficking hostel according to Google reviews. There's nowhere else available, so I've ended up here. I know I have low standards, but I would rather be in a floppy tent with a mattress that doesn't work than getting bed bugs and being involved in the drug trade. A while looking around. I'm exhausted. The thought of cycling again kind of scares me, but I know I have to tomorrow. So happy white tiny day. The news today is that I have finessed the best sandwich combination. Here's a sandwich: hummus. Preferably it would be the kumara and butternut squash kind, but I wanted something different today. Tofu on a protein bagel. Need I say more? I haven't introduced you to a new member of the crew, Kiwi. Kiwi's my little mascot and she's very fluffy. She's got painted toenails. Nice having someone to talk to, even if it is a fluffy bird. No, it's not just me on the road, it's me and Kiwi together. Me and two Kiwis actually, me, Kiwi and Kiwi the bike.
Electrolytes.
We've got 120 kilometers on the cards. Could be my longest ride ever, but the thought of a real bed and fruit and vegetables at Martin and Judith is really keeping me going today. So, update. The mascot, Kiwi, now has a name thanks to Mum. She's called Snazzi, spelt with an I. I love these kind of maps. And judging by my calculations, from Kaioa to Aotearoa is 97 plus. Fun fact, the whole area, flat area here, is in between two tectonic ridges. This fault line and this fault line, and if I remembered my A-level geography correctly, it would be a collision boundary, and so the land here is folding in on itself and still continues to do so, which is why there's such special rock and peat and soil everywhere. Let the cows go through. As if one mechanical issue wasn't enough, this is not quite mechanical, but potentially an even larger issue. I can't do it anymore. I've done my longest ride ever. Everything hurts. But it's not even the physical, it's the mental. No bit of me wants to carry on, and I just want to cry. This headwind just won't stop. Like, why? Why in the last 10k does that have to get? I hate this. This is my first interview with part 1 of the New Zealand-based support crew. Have you found being the support crew so far on this venture?
A little demanding because of the uncertainty as you go from day to day to see how things will pan out, but they normally work out properly or admirably, or some business you've tended so far to go from problem to problem and come through them all, so may it so continue.
So, whilst for me and the chickens, the idea of TLC might be eating my body weight in tomatoes and chocolate, Kiwi's idea of TLC is a good clean, and I'm becoming someone who proactively cleans their bike because happy bike, happy wife. That's the saying, right? And secondly, a stitch in time saves 9. So if I clean my chain with Omazol toothbrush, thank you very much, then Kiwi will keep on serving me as well as she already has been. Update, that was actually kind of fun. Am I becoming one of those people that like bike maintenance? Maybe, and I'm not mad about it. Have a look at this. The cassette. That was always kind of elusive to me, and I was like, what are people talking about? And here it actually says the numbers. So now I know what specs Kiwi actually has. Now to go and eat some more vegetables. Best thing about being in a real house is real cooking. Oh, and real food. And next up we have sweet treat time, because we might not have a microwave to make a mud cake, but we're making a DIY mud cake with chocolate, coconut, almost rhubarb, chia seeds and flaxseed. Yum, yum, yum. We're 1 week in, and I thought now would be a good time, whilst I'm in a brief period of relaxation, to do some reflections on the first weekend. I've written them in my diary together with my very long to-do list, which I've actually made quite good progress with. It goes, number 1, the hills do get easier, and secondly, with the hills and also with the flat, the last straw I found is always the mental challenge. My legs can go further, but my mosquitoes, but my brain can't, and it's always the last 10 or 20k of whatever distance I'm doing, and I think I need to figure out a way to trick my brain into thinking that I've got another 20k to go, because then I can do it. But as soon as I know that the end is in sight, I just stop. Dead. The imposter syndrome is real. I'm surrounded by these really cool cyclists who've done all these incredible things, cycling around the world, cycling across America, cycling across Africa, and it's so much fun to hear all their travel stories, but I do feel like they have done so much more than me and are so much more prepared for this, and I think I need to remember to not compare my daily progress and my time scale. Number 4, I think we're on. Journeys are such good ways to make friends, like the Camino. When you're on a journey together, it's just so much easier to talk to people, and everyone is so lovely and everyone is so helpful. I've had so many people help me with everything that's been going wrong. This is a recurrent me problem. When things don't go to plan, which they often don't, I need to remember to take my snorkels off, because one messed up day in the grand scheme of 3,000 kilometers is really not that deep. And it's about the journey, not the destination, as we always say. On a different vibe, everything is so expensive here. Food especially is so expensive, and I'm eating so much food. Not only food is so expensive, but bike packing is so expensive, and I'm learning that sometimes it's better to spend more money at the start and get things that actually work, rather than making do with everything and it always breaking, and then probably spending more money overall. I say looking at tent number 3 over there that I've just re-waterproofed. I'm the youngest other person I've met is 29, so I'm heaps younger than everyone else, and everyone else has proper adult jobs and is earning proper money, so they can afford to spend their money on bike packing equipment, whereas mine is the most shambolic array of everything that I've picked up and shoved in my bike box from England. And so yeah, that's all I've written, and many other thoughts, but they're not for the public to hear. Thanks for following along for the first week. Bye. Part 2 of the New Zealand support crew. What are your thoughts on the updated bike setup?
Well, I think it's as good as it's going to get, but I think you're fine. I mean, you've got 430 k's under your belt already.
Yeah, true.
And you've got your brand new panniers on.
True. And do you have any words of wisdom for the rest of the journey?
Yes, pedal hard. and keep safe. That's the most important thing.
See?
And Snazzi, yeah. Yeah. When in doubt, pick her up and throw her at someone. Or pretend that she's got some juice.
Some poison in her beak.
Yeah. See you later. Bye. Good luck.
Good morning from Aotearoa. The bike is safely stored in there. This was the setup last night. Sadly the only person here. I took a rest 2 days. Everyone is like 1 or 2 days ahead. The most important thing to remember is kia kaha, brother, kia kaha. Thanks Ben for those constant words of wisdom. I say this myself many times a day. It's pretty hot. You can feel the heat sizzling off the floor. All in all, a pretty good day. Everything can change, as we well know. But looking forward to a nice swim in the lake and an ice cream when we get there. I think this kind of day is what bike packing is about. Wow, wow, wow. Onwards. Currently having a chill lake afternoon, eating a kind of unripe nectarine. But I promised myself to eat more fruit and veg, so I'm having this. I had a kiwi and a banana. Met the Italians back here, which was lovely to see them again, and they're heading halfway along the timber trail tomorrow where everyone else is, so I may head all the way there. I may stop at Aotearoa, but kia kaha, right? Like I'm lying by a lake. I'll finally finish my book. I'm 94% of the way through. Life isn't that bad. Sub-ideal update. I went for a walk when the weather was nice. Started to rain. I thought not that bad. Pelted it down. I come back and it was a puddle, like wet, and I have been shoveling water out. My phone completely wet, guidebook wet, Kiwi soaking. Luckily the camera was not out. The calm after the storm. And beans. This is the calm before the storm. My legs are already hurting. I think just in apprehension of the challenge to come. So I went for a big food shop, got enough food for 3 days because I don't actually know when I'll next be in civilization. Yeah, probably see you next when I'm really suffering. 5k into the trail, not gonna lie, feeling a bit out of my depth here. These gullies, but some of them are like very narrow and they go boom, boom. And you always want to be on the trails when you're on the road, and then you always want to be on the road when you're on the trails. Fancy seeing you here. And now I bet you're wondering where I've chosen for my hummus and spinach wrap. Well, none other but the centre of the North Island. I think that was made for wrap eating. Nom nom nom. It's 6:30 in the morning all the mosquitoes are loving life. And it's already raining. And I've got the timber trail to tackle. I'm not sure if I'm going to just try and bash it all out in one day, because cycling in the rain is miserable anyway. It's really not the vibe. So we're on the timber trail. It's already raining. I'm already completely soaked through. I've got 30k to go before, and in about 20k it's properly meant to start thunderstorming. Rain is getting steadily stronger and muddier. But I made it to the high point. Woo! Small wins, small wins. Now just another 30k. My god. Why am I doing this? This is great camera quality, but it's very wet. Found myself in a little shelter for me and Kiwi. Had a snack. So far I met one guy, one mountain biker, coming the opposite direction to me, and all he said was, "Oh my goodness." I think that's a bad sign. I have no idea how they'll be tomorrow. Dodging the raindrops. Let's see where we end up. Still can't see much. But we're on another bridge. It's quite atmospheric until it starts properly thundering. Hi guys, day 2 of rain. We're on the phone now for the foreseeable because my camera got water damage. You can see when I get to Taramanui, I'm going to buy a packet of rice and leave it in there for 24 hours. Set up a nice little camp in here, me and Maggie. I'm so glad I was not doing last night alone because it was pretty grim. Soaking wet gear on again. About to put my soaking wet shoes on again. Yay! Because it's Valentine's Day, we're treating ourselves to a cabin or a room. What better way to spend Valentine's Day than in the pouring rain with the love of my life. We found a new kind of mud, and this mud sticks to everything. That's a great sign to see as you're cycling along. Yay! Keeping my triathlon credentials alive. This is our luxury cabin for 2. Here we had the all-important rice drying Tupperware for the camera that it didn't work for, and now my 5th jar of peanut butter this trip. Not currently raining, but feels like 6 degrees outside according to the weather. Back to sorting out my bike and getting ready to leave this wonderfully summery holiday park. We're currently in a regional state of emergency due to weather warnings with 130 km/h winds. Day 5 of rain. There is finally some sun in Cameroon, where I'm currently living. It's a bit of a state. Hi. Bathroom, no hot water. Toilet doesn't work. Cockroaches everywhere. This doesn't work. Water, undrinkable. Dishcloths, honestly, I think have something growing in them. Like, I know my standards of cleanliness are low, we all know that, but this is something else. And yeah, this is the setup, my side. Neil's side. Neil's. This is a very last minute find, so I am grateful to be here and escaping the weather. Not that the weather currently is that bad. They've got 3 of these domes constructed, and this is the house tour. This is dippy extreme. Imagine having a bath just in your living room. I kind of love it. Began to glow. This must be his home. But when Zach and Sparky reached the edge of the forest, Woody the woodland sprite jumped out from a tangle of trees. Poor Sparky. Do you think he will find his house? Yeah? Oh, we stripped a bit. Oh! Prince Zach nutlexed Sparky Fox and gave him a good scratch behind the ear. Yummy!
Yummy meal.
Ooh, peas. Does anyone have peas?
I don't have peas.
Okay.
I only have a sausage.
Ooh, should we try and find them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, unlucky. Ooh!
I have this tomato.
Oh, amazing!
I gave it to him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's very nice of you. Sort of just drifting my way down. It's just so nice to be in silence after the screaming of small children for days. Paddling along, I find myself singing songs on repeat really loudly because no one can hear me. Good morning, it's day 21 of hiking, biking, paddling the entire length of New Zealand, and day 2 on the Whanganui River. If my facts are correct, this is the largest uninhabited forest in New Zealand, and it is just amazing. I think this might be the highlight of my whole trip so far. Also, side note, it's now 9 AM New Zealand time on the 20th of February, which means it's 8 PM UK time on the 19th of February, which means at this very moment, Mum and Esme, Teresa and Anna are celebrating Esme's birthday with their birthday dinner. So I just wanted to say that I'm thinking of you guys, and although I'm very happy to be on this river, I would also love to be with you guys. It's not every day your big sister turns 30 years old and I'm 11,000 miles away. I think you guys would like this, but Mum, I think you get a bit freaked out by the rapids. Day 2 out of 3 complete, and we have our first serious guest appearance. Those being sandflies. Locked in my prison rather than being able to enjoy the lovely outside. Sandfly protection and 10 out of 10 dinner spot if you ask me. I am becoming the truest German form of myself. Also, side note, the tea bags here are so terrible. I've had to resort to putting 2 tea bags in at once just to make it vaguely strong. I think they're just really bad quality. Taste test. Still far below standard. Well, kayaking the Reinga over day 3. Still very peaceful and unbelievably beautiful. Update. I'm back with Bay. I've just had my lunch of chickpeas straight off the river, back to the hills. One of 29 hills left to get to Wellington. Maybe I will make it in time for Esme's birthday party weekend, seeing as I'm apparently in London now. It's swelteringly hot. I've just been given an unlimited supply of fresh plums and finally joined the sea. 11k that way. Weeing with an audience and weeing with a view. And it is so hot. Hello. Hi guys. Hello darling. Oh, that's not very friendly. Hey guys. I'm having lunch. It's a rather sad lunch of just peanut butter, deconstructed sandwich, and electrolytes weeks ago. And everyone says have electrolytes every day, but is that just big electrolyte trying to sell us electrolytes? Because I just eat normal food and lots of fruit and veg, and I think I'm fine. I'm here in Pemberton village, but it's not really a village. Fun fact, this was first settled under the 1885 Lands Act to try and turn New Zealand wasteland into settlement. The slogan was bring a small man to the land. So it was actually popping off in like the 1880s. They had a school and they had 21 families here. But then by 1895, Rangiwari, 3k down the road, became the big town and everyone left here, which was technically a success because they'd come and settled to build a town. They built a town, everyone left. But now it's one of New Zealand's ghost towns, and it is pretty ghost-like. But a lovely lunch spot, so cheers to that. We're on the road again. Had a break for an unintentionally long chat with a motorcyclist. Now 23k down into a ravine, up the side, down another ravine, up the side again. You can tell the motivation is not so there anymore. I really hope that I don't have to climb up those mountains tomorrow. Can you hear the crunching of my knee? But guys, we made it in one piece. What a day. 1,100 meters of elevation in 55k. Pretty intense. Haven't seen another cyclist going my direction for 3 days now. Where are they all? Perks of actually getting out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed. It is quite chilly this morning though. Time to eat my last provisions of fresh food in my morning porridge and then cycle 50k to try and find an open shop. It's bright and early, 7:34 AM, running only 3 minutes behind schedule at this point. We wanted to try and leave early because we've got a long day of, I think, 90k-ish and a lot more climbing. First 55k to Ashurst and then another 40 something to Aotearoa. It is glorious today. Invariably it will get worse from here and they'll be complaining within a few hours. So there you go. 2 minutes of my brain rambling while my brain is still semi-functional before cycling brain starts. And as I struggle across these obstacles, I feel very watched. Hello. Yes, please. It's reached a level of windy where I'm genuinely a bit scared to go over that bridge on my bike. And the road is closed, so I don't even know what to do. Breakfast today is, as always, peanut butter. Probably will get finished this morning. Grapes picked from the campsite yesterday. And porridge with a view. Could be Gonorrhea Zoo if there are a few fewer bushes, perhaps, and a few more elephants. I was rather silly and didn't realise that there's not another shop until tomorrow lunchtime. So I'm rationing, especially the peanut butter. Luckily I have 2 extra rice things and 2 carrots because I am my mother's daughter and obviously I will be catering for the nuclear holocaust. Update on today's ride so far. We've had one hill and the elevation profile basically looks like a roller coaster. So today is going to be horrid, but I guess it's time to tackle this beast. See you when I've conquered it. Oh yeah! Plan was to leave at 7:30 again, but it's now 8 and I'm still eating breakfast. There was finally ripe avocado in the supermarket. Time to finally get moving. The dismantling process is slowly getting faster. Let's see how quickly we can do it today. It's a beautiful morning and enjoying the views. and Jacinda Ardern's autobiography. Update. Today I think I'm just feeling a bit miserable because of various things. So I treated myself to a diabetes in a cup. Accepting that not every day is going to be a great day. Good morning from a real bed. I had my first room showers last night and I went for dinner with 5 85-plus-year-olds. I felt a little bit like I was back at Hilda Ross retirement home. Stay in bed as long as I can. And then head on down to Wellington, halfway to the end of in sight. Guys, not gonna lie, today is just not a good day on the bike. It's a great morning. I went for a swim. I did 4k, my longest swim I think since the Geordie man. Then had to pack up all my stuff at Georgie's house. Logistics just always take so long. If I had a personal assistant with me who could pack my bags, book my campsites, cook my food, it would just be so much fun. I could just think about the cycling. But there's always so much more to think about. I made myself some electrolytes as a special treat. Gotta stay positive. I did have a marriage proposal today, so that's something. We made it. The weather is as grim as my mood. But I just got a delicious veggie fritter from 2 British girls in a van who kindly gave me some water because there's no water at this campsite. This is my pudding. It's a blackberry tart. I think I just need to go to bed, and tomorrow I will wake up refreshed and ready to seize another day. Vibes today, not much better than yesterday. I'm thinking maybe my foul mood was a foreshadowing of the weather to come. Not vibing. Called mum this morning and was like, do you think it's really bad if I take the train? And obviously she was like, right, yeah, take the train. And that was all I needed to take the train. So I guess this is me accepting my first defeat of not cycling the entire length of New Zealand because I'm skipping out 70 kilometres on the train. But I'm here to have a good time, and cycling in these conditions. I also left my shoes outside my tent last night, so they're soaking wet. So yeah, I'm taking the train. Lock me up, but it's not the Camino. I don't have to be a martyr and a purist. Trains are there to be used, right? It's still public transport. I'm starting to realise maybe I am the problem. Ben always said wherever I went as an unlucky British person, the bad weather would follow. Now I'm nearing Wellington, where he always said it was sunny, never rainy. Lo and behold, the New Zealand Herald publishes that thunderstorms are heading our way today. Also, God, I look so tired and worn. I thought cycling is meant to make you look youthful, instead I look like I've aged about 30 years. Also, a really fun game to play as you're cycling along, appreciating the rather boring landscape, is going through countries of the world like the countries of the world given to just you. So you say as many countries in Africa beginning with A as you can until you get stuck. And then you go to B, and so on and so forth. Did that for about an hour yesterday. Really? Figuring out Wellington cycle club. I swear you need a bloody degree to cross the road here. Pushing my bike.
You need to get out of it.
No, you need to get out of it.
It was a great cycle down the hill from Jerry and Greg's. Now heading for the ferry. North Island journey ending.